psychopathy.
We were talking about how they attributed at least 200 people to Holmes as his murder count.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out there were 800 women who disappeared during the World's Fair.
Wow.
Goodness.
Wow.
See,
800.
Like
I don't
if
think
that
you
happened
could've
now,
I don't think
how could that happen now? Like then it could happen, right?
Yeah.
And
They didn't have trace.
they might have been people that were living in White Castle, or was it White Castle?
That was in England.
White Castle.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Chicago.
The parts in Chicago that
Englewood, I think it was called. Isn't
okay,
that where his
like
castle
that
was?
weren't
I think.
necessarily visiting there. It could have been, I don't know, like 800 people missing,
800
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
and no
Women.
explanation. No,
Yeah.
right.
And
I
they
know
were
that
women.
happened back then.
They were saying that they didn't want the World's Fair to get a bad.
Oh, right.
Bad
That was the other
publicity.
interesting
They
thing.
downplayed it.
Remember when I said that these people were murdered? I mean, I'm sorry.
They committed suicide.
They committed
Bless
suicide
you.
by slicing their own throat.
Yeah, and that's a little. Fun.
Yeah.
That's a little-
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And
Like,
that was
I'm
the-
gonna suicide. Let me slash my throat.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, it could have been that people just, partied too much, drank too much, died from intoxication.
Yeah.
There could have been plenty of.
No, this was
That's the ways
actual.
people
Yeah.
die.
This
but-
was actual police records that
Yeah.
the
They-
people died. They had their throat cut,
Yeah.
but they just labeled it as suicide.
Yeah, they
because
labeled
they
it
didn't.
suicide.
Not
Yeah.
the 800.
No,
No,
no.
but there was
But
quite
some
a
of
few.
them.
That
They
they
were
were attributing
Other-
it to.
possibly
H.H.
attributing to him.
Yeah.
Because they had their throats slit.
Right.
But
Maybe
that-
Jack the Ripper came here.
Right.
No.
I think he was H.H. Holmes. I really do. Because of that gap in time where they couldn't account for him.
I see.
They could account for a lot of other things.
Right.
I say it was a bit of
Yeah.
sensationalistic journalism. The document that this show was. Although it was interesting, cool, with some
Learned
correlations,
Yeah.
Yeah.
one the same guy.
Okay.
Not me. I'm not going there.
All right.
I didn't watch the whole thing, so I
Yeah.
can't give my take on it.
Yeah.
I thought it was very compelling, some of the stuff that they brought up.
I
But
did.
Yeah, I got him in the middle.
Are
yeah.
you?
Right.
Yeah, because it's like they did bring up.
Oh, now
some-
you're in the middle when you're with the
What?
other partners.
girl power.
Yeah. Now you're turning on me.
Good. Good for you.
No, not turning. I'm just saying it's interesting that there is. I feel like it is interesting that gap he's not accounted for.
Right.
It's both and I think because yes he's not accounted for during that time, but then also there's a possibility that during that time he got busy with other things that there was no paper trail. You know, so I'm wondering okay because.
You just don't know.
Yeah,
Or
just don't know. I
he
just-
traveled extensively around the United States. He could have skipped town and been in a place where they just didn't have records of him operating.
Yeah.
Or he didn't
Could
get,
be.
he
Or
didn't
somebody
get
was
sued.
after him and we
Yeah.
didn't know who
He
was
didn't
after
get
him and he
sued.
could have. And, he could have gone.
I just
We
think that
yeah.
a little bit of me, I feel like they tried to make the evidence even look
Fit.
more so to
Yeah.
prove his theory, and that's how you make a show. You know?
Right. And a lot of documentaries do that anyway.
And that's what my daughter was telling me, is like a lot of times they're just doing stuff to make a show.
Right.
It's not actually, they leave some things out here and there because they want it to look like this. They want the show to look like it looked.
Right.
And still, it was cool and interesting, but I'm not betting any money on it. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, we'll never know.
No.
But you can sign this paper, and I'll bet your money on it.
Yeah. How are we ever going to find out, though?
He wants to know if you will sign over your
home.
Yeah.
And can you be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beneficiary?
I got a life insurance policy
I'm
for you.
sure you're a
Sign right
descendant of
here.
H.H.
I got a life insurance policy for you. It's the greatest thing. Everybody's
You don't have
doing
to
it.
do anything but die.
Everybody's doing it. I wonder too about life insurance. Like, when did that get invented?
Yeah.
And then was that a thing that like people were kind of loosey goosey with at that time period too? Because I don't know how long life insurance, when it started. Like, somebody invented it, right? It's not
Right.
always been here. I just wonder, was it something, in its infancy at that time, and then easy to manipulate stuff. I'm sure it's much harder now, but
Hold that thought. I will look it up, and we won't.
Well, you know,
why I'm looking it up.
they did want proof, they wanted identification of bodies
Okay.
to prove that they were the actual person.
1706.
oh,
Wow!
Yep.
well, that's been around a long time,
Okay.
so
Key
never mind.
question: when did life insurance start? And I actually found that it was 1706. The first life insurance policies were taken out in
Good.
the early 18th century.
You win the prize.
The first company to offer life insurance was the Amicable Society for Perpetual Assurance Office, founded in London.
Oh.
In 1706 by William Talbot and Sir Thomas Allen.
Jack the Ripper. It must be, that ties it all in. Holmes is Jack the Ripper because life insurance was founded.
Well, he sure
Yeah.
picked
Oh.
up on that. He really,
I have one more quick fact. When was the first life insurance company created? Armed with Pascal's Triangle, these companies quickly expanded their range of business. By 1693, the first mortality table was created. Using Pascal's Triangle, and life insurance soon followed. So there
what the
you
heck
go.
is Pascal's Triangle?
I don't know, but we'll
Sounds
go
like
into that next
well,
time.
that's the other. It reminds me of the dark dark triad they call, which is psychopath, narcissist, and sociopath.
Uh-huh. Well,
And
I don't think they knew about it back then.
It's like the devil's triangle.
Yeah, but the mortality table, that's interesting.
Yeah, that really is interesting.
Right.
How did they get the data to create
Yeah.
back then? But
And
So
was
interesting.
it localized? Every mortality table probably had to be localized too, because there are a lot of different factors, especially back then.
so that's really, I don't think we missed anything. I mean,
No.
there's a lot more detail that we're not getting into, but if you want to learn more about it, look at that documentary.
Yeah.
It's called The American Ripper, and it's Jeff Mudgett's quest to tie his great-great-grandfather, who was H.H. Holmes, as being Jack the Ripper.
Hmm.
So it is very interesting.
Yeah.
And
It's
Yeah.
worth it to watch it. And then you can give us your thoughts when you take a look at it and say, well, I think he was, I don't think. And that's why we
Yeah.
started this, to start a dialogue, and would
Right.
be interesting to hear what you guys thought about it. Or
Right.
if you had any more details that we
and any
didn't go over.
questions, because we kind of
Skim the surface.
we
for
kind
sure.
of move from one subject to another. It can be a little confusing, but
That's my favorite thing to do.
yeah, to be confusing, yes.
Yeah,
But
that's what I do.
And yeah, so
Just like the hallways in the murder castle.
yeah,
tell us what
yeah.
you think of our special guest. See if you want him to join us again for another video.
I
And
gotta come up with another costume.
He
please
does
comment.
parties as well.
Yeah, there you go. We can hire him out. Anyone
I
want
got a
to?
penny for the mic. I ride around.
So
Yeah.
comment, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe, share this with everyone you can, and hopefully you enjoy what we're presenting here. And
Maybe.
yeah,
Alrighty, what
Yeah.
you're saying?
they're her friends.
We're
All
gonna
right.
say goodbye.
We're gonna say goodbye.
Bye.